Today I want to share with you 10 books that you should read, so stick around. Hey, what's going on BookTube on YouTube? I'm Tina and welcome to my channel. I make bookish videos for bookworms, so consider subscribing and clicking the bell for more bookish videos. Well, I am a slow reader and most of my viewers know that, and I do have a list of 10 books here that I want to share with you that I thoroughly enjoyed. I definitely would read again, but I have so many here that I haven't read already, so I just want to share with you my favorite books. The first book I want to share with you is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. You know, we have Evelyn Hugo, who is like Elizabeth Taylor in her time from the 1950s, and she finally wants to share her story. She finally wants to give like a tell-all about her husbands and her life and everything that happens. But it's such a interesting story with the ups and the downs and the things that happen in her relationship. But there is a specific reporter that she actually wants on the job. I think her name is Monique. Monique is a reporter for her magazine. So she actually gets the job to interview Evelyn Hugo. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So she jumps on it, and the story that comes out, bro, is amazing. So definitely check out this book here. The next book I want to share with you is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. You know, I never read 99% Mine, which is the book that came after this. I don't know if they have anything to do with each other. Probably not. This is the hate to lovers trope, and Lucy and Josh, they work for either competing companies or the same company, but they're competing for a promotion, I believe. Lucy hates Josh. Let me tell you, even her password says, I hate Josh. Imagine that. But this is the enemies to lovers, and this is also a very steamy romance in here as well. It's really awesome. It's really dope, and the build-up that Sally Thorne does is, oh my god. So you definitely got to check this one out. The next book I want to share with you that I really enjoyed is Kristin Hannah's The Great Alone. I saw this book in Target, and I hear a lot of great things about Kristin Hannah, so I figured I'd give it a shot, I'd give it a try. Ernst Albright was in the Vietnam War. He came back with PTSD and all of these other mental health issues he comes back with, and he decides to up and send his family and go with his family and move his family to Alaska in a remote area. There's like hardly any Wi-Fi, there's hardly any phone connection, all of that stuff. So they decide to move up there. He decides for them and just takes them. So the family really has to deal with what goes on with him mentally as well. And it's a thick book. It's pretty good though, but it goes really, really fast. This is one of those books that I wish I would have annotated because I love this so much. I do have The Four Winds by Kristin Hannah. I think that's a book that I want to read as well. So I'm gonna check that out as well. The next book I want to share with you is Heartless. This is, I don't know if I should say it's a retelling, but it's kind of a backstory of Alice in Wonderland's The Queen of Hearts. How did she become so tyrannical? How did she become so bitter, and why, and what happened to her in her life that made her the queen that she was, or the queen that she is? So this book goes into all of that, and it starts off with her as a teenager, her dreams, her hopes, and everything that she wanted to do, and you find all of that out in this book. So check it out. It's called Heartless by Marissa Meyer. The next book I want to share with you is Queenie. This book is so crazy, okay? Queenie gets kicked out. You know, she breaks up with her man, and she gets kicked out of the apartment, and ever since she gets kicked out of the apartment, she starts spiraling, you know. And I feel bad for her. I really felt bad for her in this story. She's surrounded by people that love her and care about her and really try to help her during her spiraling, and you know, she makes decisions that she's not very proud of. So this is a really awesome book. Check it out. It's called Queenie. The next book I want to share with you is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This is one of my newest favorite books. I just read this one recently. I tapped it up and I highlighted a bunch of quotes in here. This book is so heartwarming. We got Linus. Linus is in his 40s in a dead-end job, and he works for the he's a caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth. So he makes sure that these magical children are not a danger to themselves or others. But he gets sent by extremely upper management to this remote island where there are about 6 other magical children there. He has to really make sure that they're safe. But you know, he comes to find out that one of those kids is the son of the devil. So, you know, I think that's what really brings up the scare factor in most people, you know, in this world here. And it's an amazing book, so check it out. It's heartwarming. There's some LGBTQ representation in here as well, so definitely check it out. The next book I want to share with you is The Outsider by Stephen King. Now, I'm not into horrors. I'm not so much into horror books, but this is not really a horror. This is more like a thriller. We have a little boy who gets brutally murdered, and Terry, I believe his name is Terry Maitland, he gets accused of this crime. And Terry Maitland is everybody's favorite person in this world, in this story here. And for him to get accused of doing this horrendous crime, can't even talk, this horrendous crime is just baffling. So check out this book, find out what happens with Terry, and is he the killer or not? The next book I want to share with you is You by Carolyn Kepnes. This has been turned to a Netflix show already. And let me tell you, I really wasn't feeling the show, but I was feeling this book. And I think they're on season 3 right now. There's a new book in the series. I definitely got to read Hidden Bodies, which is the second book. I DNF'd it. I didn't finish it, but I definitely got to get to it so I can at least be caught up and find out what Joe is doing and who he's murdering nowadays. But anyway, this book is Joe in the very beginning. He is, if you don't know who he is a book owner. He owns a bookstore, and he meets Guinevere and Gwen. Let's call her Gwen. Gwen, she goes to his store, she starts shopping and everything, and he like falls in love with her. So she goes and she pays. This is how twisted his mind is. She goes and she pays for the book, but she pays it with her debit card. Now, Joe takes this to mean she wants him to know her name. So from then on, he starts following her on Twitter, like stalking her on Twitter, stalking her in real life, stalking her friends, her family, all that stuff. It's just a crazy ride, and I love this story. I love this book. I mean, I haven't reread it, but I want to reread it just to go through that again. But definitely check out You by Carolyn Kepnes. The next book I want to share with you is The Perfect Marriage, and this is by Geneva Rose. This is a new book. It came out, I think it came out this year or last year. It is so good. So check it out. It goes, would you defend your husband if he was accused of killing his mistress? This was a book that TikTok made me buy, and I'm really glad it did. This really lived up to the hype that TikTok was showing, and it's really, really good. It takes on, the book shows both Sarah Morgan and Adam Morgan, the husband and the wife. And you know, did Adam kill his mistress, or did he not kill his mistress? Like, there's so many twists and turns in this book. You gotta check it out. It's called The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. Last but not least is one of my favorites. This was a gift, and it's called Meet Me in Barcelona, and this is by Mary Carter. Now, imagine getting a surprise trip, a free trip to Barcelona with you and your boyfriend or you and your girlfriend, and not know who's the one that sent this gift. But you know, you still go on the trip anyway. Of course, you gotta go on the trip. So you go on this trip, and so many things start happening. So weird things start happening on this trip. There's kind of like a cat and mouse aspect in this book here as well, and it's freaking awesome. Thank you, Shiraldi, for this book. I really appreciate it. It's one of my faves. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. My name is Tina, and if you like this video, click like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, because it helps out my channel and I would really appreciate it. So I will catch you on my next video. Take care.